Hi, my name is Amber and I'm a certified yoga instructor at the University of Cincinnati. And today I will be guiding you through a gentle yoga practice for winter. So, as we're approaching the winter season, hopefully you will find this practice helpful. Let's come over to our yoga mats. We'll get this practice started. We'll put on some comfy clothes, and the main prop that you would need for today's practice, nice and simple, easy peasy. We just have yoga mat. I have my blanket. If you've been with me for a while, you know I pretty much always have that. It's like my trusty prop. I like to use it a lot, if nothing else, for Sukhasana easy pose when we're seated comfortably with our upright spine. If you want something like a blanket or a cushion to sit on, that's fine. If you don't have that or you don't want that, that's fine as well. It's an option, not a requirement. If you know you're someone who benefits from the use of blocks or any other props, feel free to use those as well, but they are not required as well. The only things you really need for today's practice are yourself, your mat, and preferably some comfortable clothes that you can easily move around in. So let's come to a seat on our mat. Oh, and water, highly recommended. Having something to drink is a good idea, preferably water or something hydrating, because we will be, moving and stretching our body in different forms, taking on different poses and different things and ways that we may or may not be used to. So it's always good to stay hydrated and just taking care of overall health, extending that outside of our yoga practice into other facets of our life as well is always a good idea. So let's find a comfortable seat, whatever that is for you, whether you're sitting on a blanket or cushion or not. I like to use a blanket, just a little elevation of my hips helps to unlock any little pinching I might get in my lower spine. And let's sit up tall, crown of your head lengthens up to the ceiling, sitting bones root down towards the earth. Shoulders relax down and back. And just sit up nice and tall, upright spine, and then just let everything soften and relax a little. Your eyes can be open or closed. We're just going to start with a little bit of stillness and intention today, connecting with our breath, the most important, I would say arguably one of the most important parts of our yoga practice. So just take it easy, take your time, just take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale, big sigh out through your mouth, our lion's breath. And then from here we'll move into a steady rhythmic breath, your 4-count breath. And just gently breathe in and out through your nose. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And just try as you stay with this breath to maintain a steady rhythmic breath. Maybe inhale a lot. Exhale, go if that feels good to you. As we go throughout today's practice, trying to stay connected with your breath. And if any time you find yourself holding your breath or unable to stay with the breath, try to really come back to the breath, even if that shows a sign that you need to take a break or modify or slow something down. So as we sit with this breath, we'll start to set an intention for today's practice, just something positive, soothing, uplifting to you, whatever you're needing from this practice right now. Give yourself permission to set this uplifting intention that will put the time and energy of this practice on our mat towards. So today I mentioned is a practice of gentle yoga for winter. So it's a little winter rest and relaxation combined with a little heat. So maintaining a regular yoga practice during the winter months helps to warm up the body, to avoid stiffness, stagnant energy, and lethargy, which can be really common during this time of the year. So we're going to be doing some things to kind of help loosen things up. It's also good for our immune system and can help to improve our mood. So if you're someone who maybe suffers from some seasonal depression this time of year, it's going to help to combat that a little bit, those winter sads a little bit, okay? It's just also a season of going inward and really nourishing ourselves. According to the principles of yin and yang, winter is considered a yin season, making it an ideal time for rest and relaxation. We'll include some soothing relaxation your body craves within the movement of this practice today as well. So a little heat, a little relaxation combined, all with intentionality. So just kind of give yourself, if you're starting to feel a little bit more of a tendency to want to stay in, or feeling a little bit of hibernation inclination, know that that's our natural phase. Just like bears, other animals naturally would hibernate for the winter. It's totally natural, especially if you are in Cincinnati or somewhere else where it gets cold during the winter season and dark. It's natural to kind of want to tune inward, feel a little more yin, a little more passive, and take time to yourself. And if some of that doesn't all make sense to you, you're like, what do you mean yin and yang and all that? You don't have to really worry about all that too much if you don't want to. But just know that it's okay to nurture yourself at this time. But we'll also create a little heat and energy to kind of help reduce any of that stiffness or yuckiness we feel in our body. So anyway, enough talking. We'll get into doing some of these things. So as you sit here calmly with this breath and this mindful focus and intention, go ahead and open your eyes if you close them. We'll start with some little warm-up movements. Inhale, reach your arms overhead, kind of get things flowing. Reach your fingertips up to the sky. And exhale, release them down to the side, connecting, staying connected with your breath. One more time, inhale, reach it up. Exhale, release it down. And then this time, just roll your shoulders up by your ears. Exhale, release them down and back. Do this a couple more times here. Moving with your breath. You can start to get into, if you feel a little crackly or anything, that's okay. It's pretty normal. Just kind of releasing any of that stiffness we might be feeling in our muscles and with our bones. Let your shoulder blades relax down your back. Inhale, tilt your chin up towards the ceiling. Pause for a moment here. Still try to keep that upright spine. Shoulders stay relaxed away from your ears. Next breath in, we'll come back to neutral. And exhale your chin down to your chest. Chest to meet your chin. This time, feeling that stretch along the back of your neck. Take a breath in, pause. And as you exhale, start to slide your chin over to your left shoulder. You can pause here, or maybe tilt back a little bit at a time, if and only if that feels good to you. We'll move into some little half rolls. Nice and easy, nice and slow. Make your way through center, over to the other side, and we'll do this a couple more times here on your own. So you can just take your time, being nice and gentle with your neck. And if you feel, if it's a little creaky today, that's pretty normal and okay. Let's try to find something that feels like a release and that feels good here. One more time. And then in your own time, eventually make your way back to center. And when you get there, just lift back up to neutral. We'll do one more little series here, seated, and then we'll move around a little bit more on the mat. Let's extend your legs out in front of you for a moment. You take your hands just back behind you, with the upright spine still here. Let your back relax. Just lift your right leg, and just do a little ankle circle here in one direction. Little stretches for your feet. Loosen things up, get in there, little creaky places. And then switch opposite direction. And let it release. And now let's do a little point and flex while we're here too. And then let it release. And then opposite leg lifts up. Do an ankle circle in one direction. Doesn't really matter which direction you start with, just as long as you do both of them. And then switch it out, opposite direction. This might seem silly, but this is all yoga here. And again, we can feel really stiff and lethargic, kind of stagnant in the winter months. Maybe we're not feeling as active, which is okay. We don't have to force it. Let's go to our point and flex. But it can be really beneficial, even just to do these little stretches like this, to kind of keep everything moving and feeling better. So let's release your foot down, come back to your cross-legged seat, wherever you started. Bring your arms out in front, same thing with your hands. We can do both at the same time here. Wrist circles in one direction. Mine are super creaky, but that's okay. Feel good. And then opposite direction. You might feel a little silly doing this, but this is really just taking care of your extremities, your joints, the health of your body. Let's just shake out your hands. It's really good for you. Just shake it out, let it loose, let it go. All right, relax your arms. From here, we'll make your way onto your hands and knees for your tabletop. So, fingers spread wide, shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees, flip flat back, move right into some cat-cow warm-up stretches. Inhale, look forward, abs release down towards the earth as your tailbone lengthens up towards the sky. Look gazing forward For cow, exhale, draw your navel into your spine, tailbone tilts towards the earth as you gaze down towards your navel. For cat, inhale, shift forward to your cow. And exhale to your cat. Try to really continue to connect your breath with your movement. Inhale to your cow. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Into your cat. I'll do a couple more of these. Notice how it feels. Go at your own pace. And then make your way back to your tabletop, back to your hands and knees. I think your knees can be close together, or you can take them out wider if you'd like. Sink your seat to your heels for child's pose. And just rest here in this more passive relaxation pose. We'll take a few breaths here. Just be reminded again that, that winter rest and relaxation can be so vital for our health and well-being, just as much as doing more active exercise can be, which we'll do some of that too. But first, let's take about 5 breaths here. Just come back to your breath if needed. Come back to your intention. Take this time to look inward, see what you really need, and really nurture yourself. And breathe in. Breathe out as you rest in your Balasana or child's pose. And know that you can come back to this at any time. Take a couple more gentle breaths here. Press down through the palms of your hands. Inhale, shift forward back to your tabletop or back to your hands and knees. From here, fingers spread wide. Curl your toes under and start to lift your hips up to the sky. Downward facing dog, first one of the practice. You might keep more of a bend in your knees here, or you might start to straighten your legs. Feel free to kind of walk it out a little bit and maybe shake your head loose. Anything that feels good here. Just kind of getting into it, connecting with your body, noticing how it feels. Letting it be, whatever this pose brings to you today. Let's take one more breath in, out. All right, and then from here, so lift your right leg up, stretch it up towards the sky. 3-leg downward dog. Really feel some energy through that right leg. Inhale, slide the foot forward between your hands. Knee stack over your ankle. Exhale, lower that back knee. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, come to your low lunge. Try to shift your hips a little forward if you can. Really lengthen and open up through your chest. One more breath in here. And exhale, hands to the earth. And then from here, if you need, you can always put a little something, blanket or something under that back knee. We're going to start to walk that right foot out to the side. So it'll probably even come a little bit off of your mat. You take both your hands to the left side of that foot. So we're coming into a lizard pose variation here. There are options with this. You can play around with this. You could stay right here where I am at right now. I will show this from a front view too. Hold on just a sec, just for those of you who might be wondering what. So what I'm doing here is I'm coming from downward dog. I brought this foot forward, so I was in my lunge. And I took this foot out to the side, took my hands to the side of this foot. Now right here, try to look forward. There's a tendency to kind of let the neck just fall down. So you can look forward or keep your neck in line with your spine, looking out on the floor a little bit in front of you, or even between your hands can be okay. And that's pretty much what it looks like, if that gives you a better idea. Now options here, you might choose to stay here, which is what I usually do. It's totally fine. You might like to curl your back toes under, lift that back knee for a little bit of a more active variation of your lizard pose. The hip opener, so again, kind of getting into some of those nooks and crannies of our body, releasing any stuck energy, any tension. Another option is you could come down to your forearms. What I sometimes like to do is stack a couple blocks or books, and then use that to come down to your forearms if you don't make it. And then in that case, you can rest your head a little bit if you want to, or you can still look forward. Just make sure you're not putting pressure on your neck. This might be a little awkward, and that's okay. Let's just take one more breath here. Breathe into it. Be open to it. Recognize the release it may provide you. And then from here, we'll We'll come back up to your forearms if you haven't already. Lower that back knee if you haven't already. And step that front foot back. Curl your toes under, come back to your downward facing dog. Breathe. And from here we'll inhale, lift that left leg up, stretch it out, feel some energy through that leg, you stretch it back. Exhale here. Inhale, slide it forward. You need to help it along a little bit, that's totally fine. Bring your foot with your hands. Exhale, lower that back knee. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, sink your hips forward. Find that low lunge once again. Let's take one more big breath in. And exhale, release your hands to the earth. And you already know where we're going here. Take the lizard pose on this side. So start to walk that left foot out to the side, hands to the right side of that foot, and play around with whichever lizard variation speaks to you. We'll take a couple more breaths. Till we stay the other one a little longer. We'll take about 2 or 3 more breaths here. Just try to be cool with it and whatever you choose to do here. One more breath in, one more breath out. And then we'll slide that foot back once again. Curl your toes under and return back up to your downward facing dog. Fingers spread wide, shoulders relaxed, navel drawn in towards your spine. You can stay still here, you can make any movements that you want. That is your choice. Take one more breath here. And inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, step your feet forward to meet your hands. Exhale, forward fold Uttanasana to let your head hang over your body. You might have a little bend in your knees, your legs may be straight. Hands may or may not touch the earth at this time. Pause for a moment again. Find some stillness. Turn inward. What do you need right now? These more slow, hibernating type of, passive yin seasons are a really good time to get to know ourselves a little better. Begin to press down through your feet. Inhale, slowly roll it up to standing a little bit at a time so your head and shoulders will come up last. And step towards the top of your mat. Connect here in your Tadasana mountain pose. So feet parallel to one another. Really root down through the soles of your feet. And lengthen up through the crown of your head. Standing strong and sturdy. Shoulders relaxed down and back so it's not too stiff. Navel drawn in just a little bit to support your spine. Palms can be facing each other to the side or the world in front of you. So just breathe for a moment here, finding some steadiness in the pose. And we'll take your left hand to your waist. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale, slide it over into a nice little side body stretch. Inhale, come back up again. Exhale, other side, hand to your waist. Reach your left arm up and slide it on over. Really opening up along the side of your body this time. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, release. You can just kind of shake out your arms a little bit, let it loose. Now we're going to move into a little gentle sun salutation just to kind of help cultivate some heat and energy in our body. So, mountain pose. Inhale, reach your hands up to the sky. Exhale, dive it forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, look up to your flat back. Exhale, fold, hands to the earth. Inhale, step your right foot back. Optional, exhale to lower that right knee or keep it lifted. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Remember that front knee still over your ankle. Find your lunge. Exhale, hands to the earth. Inhale, step your left foot back to meet the right. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. So lower your knees, keep your hips lifted. Bend your elbows in towards your body to lower your chest and chin for 8-point pose. Inhale, lower your hips, shoulders draw back. Together, lift up through your chest. Find your high or low cobra. Exhale, back. Downward facing dog. This time, inhale, step your right foot forward. Exhale, optional optional to lower your back knee. Inhale, reach your hands up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the earth. Inhale, step that front foot back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, knees bent. Inhale, step or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Press down to your feet. Inhale, roll it on up to standing. Sweep your hands up to the sky. Exhale, palms to heart center. Just pause for a moment here. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then from here, in your mountain pose, returning back to your Tadasana, your mountain pose once again. Bring your palms to heart center and look forward to find a drishti or a steady gazing point, something that's not moving on the horizon that you can focus on as you really root down through your right foot, standing sturdy through your right leg. We'll begin to slide your left knee out to the side, take your left heel to your right ankle. And then optional, you could stay right here. This could be your tree pose today, or perhaps you start to walk your foot up your leg either above or below your knee. Palms can stay here at heart center. If you'd like, you can take them out to the side. This can be really helpful with balance. Or maybe you grow your branches overhead. Tree pose, Vrikshasana. Wherever you go, try to maintain that steady, rhythmic breath. Staying sturdy in this changes around you, changes of season, changes maybe different chapter in your life, different things that are moving and shifting. And inhale, bring that front knee forward. Exhale, release your front foot back down to the earth and just kind of shake it off a little bit, shake it out. So we'll move to the other side, so coming back to your mountain pose. Let's all start with our palms at heart center here. This time root down through your left foot or through your left leg. Find that gazing point again to focus on. That can help with balance as well as you slide your right knee out to the side, heel to ankle, and feel free to take whichever variation of your Vrikshasana you'd like to take today. So you can stay here, you can walk your foot up your leg, whatever hand variation. Just really try to go wherever you can maintain that steady, even breath. I'm more concerned with that than which variation of the pose that you get into today. Just take a couple more breaths here wherever you're at. Find that sturdiness, that stillness, that steadiness. Inhale, bring that front knee forward. Exhale, release both feet down to the earth and shake it up, shake it out. Let it loose, let it go. And come back to your mountain pose once again. Inhale, sweep your hands up to the sky. Exhale, dive it forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, look up to your flat back. Exhale, fold. Pause again for a moment here. Find a place of stillness. Just a couple of breaths here. Give yourself a moment. Come back to your intention. And let you allow yourself to slow down and tune inward. And then bend your knees enough to place your hands on the floor beside your feet. And step it back to your downward facing dog. And you can feel free to move around here or find a place of stillness if you wish. Take one more breath in wherever you're at. And exhale, lower your knees to the earth. And this time we'll just slide your feet over to one side. So it doesn't matter which side it is. We're going to come to a seat with or without your blanket or whatever you might have with you. I'm going to use my blanket. Surprise, surprise. And come to a seat, excuse me, come to a seat with your knees bent in front of you and your feet on the floor. Then from here, allow your knees to pull out to the side, bringing the soles of your feet together. Inhale, sit up tall, really lengthen your spine. We'll start from there. And then exhale, lead with your chest, lead with your heart a little bit at a time. Start to fold forward and see what feels right to you. And tune in. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Notice where maybe you start to feel a stretch in your legs and your inner thighs. And make sure there isn't any pinching or pain in your spine as we come into our Baddha Konasana, or bound angle pose. And we'll pause, take a couple of breaths here. And feel the stretch, feel the release. Maybe feel a release in your mind as well as your body. And now start to make your way all the way back up to your neutral spine. We'll just gently bring your knees back together. Wrap your right hand around one or both knees. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, send it behind you as you turn to look out over your shoulder. Come into your little teepee twist. Inhale, sit up tall, lengthen. Exhale, gently twist from there. You might notice I'm using a block here behind my hand. It just happened to be right there. If you have a block or a book or something and you find it's helpful to place it under your hand to reach the floor a little better, if you have short arms like me, you can kind of use that, press into it to really give yourself that length in your spine and then the twist from there. But that is just one option. Take one more breath here. Inhale, look forward, gently unwind from your twist, and then we'll do the other side. Wrap your left hand around one or both knees, send your right arm up, and exhale, send it back behind you. Lengthen up through the crown of your head, and gently twist from there, feeling it through your core, your spine, your internal organs. Letting the twist refresh you. Inhale, look forward, gently unwind from your twist. And then from here, we'll scoot onto your back. So we're just gonna make a little transition here. Make your way all the way onto your stomach. So we're gonna be lying on your stomach. And just take a moment here before we move anywhere else to just lie on your stomach. Maybe form a little pillow with your hands. Let yourself have a moment of rest. Take a breath here. And then from here, we're going to take your hands behind you, arms along your side. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your shoulders, your arms, and then lift your legs. Lift everything you can from this position so your crown of your head's lengthening forward, your toes, your feet are reaching back, coming into locust pose. Take one more breath in here, really using it, you're strengthening the muscles of your back. Coming into this little back bend. Exhale, release, lower down, rest your chin to the opposite side. Take a breather for a moment. And then we'll do this one more time. Inhale, lift up. This time I'll give you a chance to hold it for a little longer, say about 3 breaths, maybe 4. If you want to come down sooner, you can. Maybe see if you can lift up a little higher. Are your legs lifting up as much as your chest? Therein lies the challenge. But then let it feel good. Really draw your shoulder blades together. Open your heart. Take one more breath in. And then if you haven't already, exhale, release, lower everything back down. And then bring your hands forward. Come back through your tabletop. Take your knees out about as wide as your mat. Bring your big toes to touch. And sink your feet to your heels for a wide-kneed child's pose. Stretch your hands forward. Feel that release in your back and your shoulders. And come back to your breath once again. Come back to that intention and combining a little bit of heat along with releasing stiffness and tension in our bodies, along with taking this time to rest, relax, observe, and tune in. Take what you need from the practice. And take another breath here. Let yourself just be. And then press down to the palms of your hands once again. Inhale, shift forward, back to your tabletop, back to your hands and knees. Bring your knees back together. And then from here, we're just going to start to make your way onto your back. Starting to get relaxed. And at this time, once you make your way onto your back, let's give your knees a little hug into your chest. Maybe rock a little from side to side if that feels good on your back. And then release your feet down to the floor. Stretch your legs out in front of you as you stretch your arms back towards the wall behind you. Full body stretch. Just stretch your body long. We'll take one more of those big breaths in through your nose. And exhale, let loose a big sigh out through your mouth as you release your arms to the side and just start to make any final movements or adjustments that you'd like to make to set yourself up for Shavasana, for our final relaxation pose. So just trust yourself that you already know what you need for that. So if you want to grab blankets, if you want to put your socks back on, or whatever feels good to you, take your time to get comfy and supported here. And just trust yourself that you already know what that is. You already know what that looks like. Just give yourself the time to just be and to do that. Give yourself this time of quiet, reflection, rest. Feel free to take your time and continue to make any movements that you need here. And eventually you'll find yourself in a place of stillness. And just allow your body to rest against the earth. Let your back and your shoulders just completely melt into the floor. Your eyes gently close. You return back to your natural breath. And just give yourself permission to just be, to release all physical efforts from the body. Take the time to really absorb the benefits of the practice we did today. And just relax and release. And I really do encourage you to stay here with the video at this point, not to leave early. You can even stay here longer than I do if you'd like. Otherwise, we'll just stay here for a couple more minutes in our corpse pose Shavasana. Honoring the cycles, the transitions from one season to the next, recognizing that all cycles must begin and come to an end at some point, and that they all build on and connect to each other. So, you know, the fall makes way for the winter, but then the winter also makes way for the spring. So we take this time for the world to kind of rest and regenerate, if you will, and sort of go into hibernation, so that eventually things can come back into full bloom in a place of regrowth. And maybe some of that also applies to you personally, and something that maybe you're working on personally or dealing with. Maybe there's a form of personal growth that speaks to you, or maybe there are certain things that need to happen in order for other things to happen, and just accepting the cycles and processes that are involved in all of these things, and coming to peace with it. Now I'm just going to give you another minute or two here of quiet rest on your own. Continue to breathe at your own natural pace and relax for your Shavasana, knowing that it's so good for you. When you're ready, you may begin to gently start to deepen your breath, drawing energy back into your body, making any little movements or stretches that feel good to you. You wiggle your fingers, your toes, maybe even just stretch your body long once again. Reawakening everything back up. Eventually, bring your knees back into your chest and gently roll over to your right side and just stay here for a few moments. Just go ahead and stay in your fetal pose lying on your side. In the midst of the winter, I found that there was within me an invincible summer. Albert Camus. And mindfully begin to make your way back up to your seat. And as you do so, just take a brief moment here of gratitude, of course, towards yourself for making the time to come to this class, to come to your mat, and take this time to nurture and take care of yourself today. So inhale, reach your arms overhead one more time, just bring another bit of energy back into your mind and body, and exhale your hands down to your heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you found this helpful. Of course, know that you are welcome to come back to this class at any time you need it. Hopefully it helped you to find some nurturing tools and things to think about when it comes to the winter season. As again, everything is a cycle. To everything there's a season. But as always, take really good care of yourself, and I will see you next time. Bye.